I am a believer that translating your design ideas into a sketch is probably the first step into a great design. There is a very unique connection when your hand is the medium by which you are delivering an idea that originates from your brain. When I was presented with the idea of digital sketching, I was a little skeptical. Not because I didn't believe in the incredible results that you could create, but rather in my ability to get used to a different type of pen and a different type of sketching surface. Today, I'm going to attempt to create something new without my traditional tools, but instead, I'm only going to be using this tool, and I'm going to be using Morpholio trays for this experiment. So let's begin. I want to start with a simple sketch, just to start scratching the surface of the app. And I will work my way up from here. There is this very unique feel when dragging this pen on the glass surface, but the more I do it, the more I get used to it. If you are someone who is afraid to grab a pencil and start sketching, maybe trying a more interactive method like this one can help you beat that fear that most of us have when we are just starting to develop our sketching ability. Interior design is all about layers and layers of texture. When sketching, this is achieved by using different pens and brushes. I like a fine pen for detailed work and outlining, and a thick brush for filling in white spaces. I also like to use a marker for color strokes. In my opinion, they give the drawing more character and personality. It is worth trying all the different brushes from the Morpholio Trace library. As a designer, you want to be familiar with all of your sketching tools to give them the best use possible. So perspective drawings are quite an important part of a designer's practice. You can set your vanishing points and add grids to draw straight lines that are directed to those vanishing points. I oftentimes like to challenge myself with freehand drawing. Especially in the preliminary drawing stage, sometimes these imperfect lines are what give your drawing a nicer feel. While my freehand sketching doesn't have to be very precise, when I transition into the construction drawing phase, I do need to be very precise with dimensions and measurements. So if you click up here, a scale ruler will appear, and you can measure any existing element, or it can be your guide for adding more elements into your drawing. This tool has definitely become one of my favorites, as it allows me to work with the right scale and accuracy when I need to. So there are some instances where I noticed that using an iPad can be a bit more effective than sketching on paper. And don't get me wrong, I love sketching on paper. I love the feeling of grabbing a marker or a pencil and drawing on trace paper. It's something that I'm never gonna stop doing because I genuinely enjoy it. However, as I was doing this experiment on an iPad, I made some conclusions. One thing that I realized is that if I make a mistake, say my line is wrong, I can undo that action very quickly. When I'm working on traditional paper, the process of fixing an error is typically slower, and I really like the pace at which I can fix my mistakes on an iPad. This also means that I'm not as thoughtful with my strokes because I can fix them fairly quickly. Another thing that I personally loved about this new way of sketching is that you can do it anywhere. With paper sketching, I can't really take my tools everywhere I go. But with the iPad, all my tools are inside my folio trays. So I can literally sketch if I am at the park, at the mall, even at the public transit. It's pretty convenient, and I really like it because there is no excuse to not sketch on a daily basis. And one thing that I was personally doubtful about this new method is the learning curve. I don't like the feeling of opening a new software or program for the very first time. I get very much overwhelmed when I see that there are so many tools in a program and I don't know how to use them. It's a little bit uncomfortable, and this actually reminded me that when I was in university, I took 3 courses of AutoCAD to finally get the hang of it. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that when I was trying Morpholio Trace for the first time, it was a very nice experience. It is a very straightforward app, and it's very user-friendly. The learning curve is being fairly quickly for me, so I'm really happy with it. And it actually motivates me to keep learning about all the features that I haven't learned about yet. If you're interested, I can make more videos like this one, and I can guide you and show you around as I learn about this new method of sketching. And guys, I just want to remind you that when it comes to sketching, the tools do not matter as much as your determination and your consistency. Work with what you have, whether that's paper, pen, pencil, iPad, whatever, and try to focus rather on the actual techniques to become a better sketcher and a better designer or architect. With that, I wish you all the best in your sketching journey. If you have any questions, make sure to sound off in the comments or reach out to me, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.